Really? Sorry.
Good evening, everyone. I apologise for the late start to this project, council meeting. The reason we are late is we had a break in the transmission to the live stream, and the current guidelines stipulate that we should not start the meeting or proceed with the meeting until we have an active live stream. So we are starting a little bit late. So welcome to the Ordinary Council meeting M5, 2nd of June 2020. And with that, I hand over the recording and live streaming council meetings to the CEO, Mr. Charlie Booth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All council meetings are filmed with both video and audio being recorded. Video is focused on a specific area, however, audio of the entire room is captured. Question time will still be held, however, questions must be submitted in writing prior to the meeting. By submitting a question, you consent to your question being read aloud and recorded. In common with all narrative during council meetings, verbal responses to congratulations, obituaries and question time would not be recorded in the minutes. The reason behind recording council meetings is, of course, to hold us more accountable and improve the transparency of council decision making to our community. The full meeting is being streamed live on council's YouTube channel, which is Alpine Shire Council. It will also be available on the YouTube channel shortly after this meeting.
Who's got the acknowledgement of traditional custodians and recognition of all people? Please stand.
The Alpine Shire Council acknowledges the traditional owners of the land we are now on. We also acknowledge those people who contribute to the rich fabric of our community and strive to make wise decisions that will improve the quality of life for all.
Thank you. Confirmation of minutes, 3.1, council meeting M4, 5th of April. So moved. Councillor Forsyth, Councillor Janetz, all those in favour? Carried. Apologies, which is none. Obituaries and congratulations from my right. Councillor, what?
Just asking how we the meeting out differently from normal. What? It's not going through YouTube or going some other method to get there.
Obituaries and congratulations from my right. Councillor Keeble. Councillor Pearce. You have?
No obituaries, except for YouTube.
Councillor Janetz.
Yeah, just one, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Ian McGuffey from Buffalo River, who's a stalwart of Buffalo River and lifetime resident. They're great contributor to the CFA, enabling the CFA for our current chair. Sadly passed away recently, and condolences to
Councillor Forsyth.
No.
Councillor Ashburn. Councillor Nicholas. Declarations by Councillor conflict of interest. Not that we're currently aware. Public questions on notice, of which we have one. From John and Joe Frudenstein or Stein. Regarding a planning application for council today. Two questions. Question one, have the councillors had the opportunity to read an email sent from our planning consultant Robert Shatford to Councillor Ron Janetz dated 1/6/20 in response to the planning report recommendations tabled to council by James Chul 29/5/20, as this provides important and relevant information for the decision making process. All in agreement, we've received that information. Thank you. Have the councillors been briefed on the application in more detail, including our farm management plan prepared by DJC Environmental and our town planning report? Is everyone happy with? We are. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fruit. Stein. 8.1. Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Charlie Bird, contracts approved by CEO. So moved. Councillor Nicholas. Second. Councillor Keeble. Any questions? Councillor Keeble.
concrete one in Torngo Crescent and asphalt one in Bright. Just the differences between both.
Thank you, Councillor Keeble. So significant difference in Bright is that we've got avenues of trees. And if we were to put in concrete footpaths in these locations, we would have to dig down to match the levels of the existing driveways, and that would cause an unacceptable damage to those trees. So we've chosen the option which causes won't cause damage to the trees in those locations in Bright.
That's fair enough. Thank you.
All those in favour? Carried. 8.2, Director of Access, Mr. William Jeremy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This report relates to the exchange of a small area of roadland with the landowner of a lot on the Riverside Avenue in Bright. So this is a matter which is outstanding from the development of the site that the Woolworths supermarket currently stands on back in 2009. And as part of that development, there was an agreement that a small transfer, 9 metres squared of land, would be transferred to facilitate the exiting of the large delivery vehicles. So this is really a paperwork exercise to close out that process. There's no impact on the existing fencing, so that was addressed at the time. And this is really just a paper exercise so that the paper matches what's on the ground, and it would be necessary if the owner wanted to sell, so that the boundaries are aligned with where the fencing is.
So then, a second.
Councillor Pearce, Councillor Nicholas, any comment?
Straightforward. Thank you.
All those in favour? Carried. 8.2.2, Pioneer Park Bike Track Project Update.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The purpose of this report is to update council on the proposed timeframe for the delivery of the relocated bike track in Pioneer Park in Bright. Back in November 2019, council endorsed the removal of the existing BMX track to facilitate the establishment of the Oaks Lawn community and event space, and council also committed to deliver a new bike track within the Rotary Pines area by 30th of June 2020.
Councillor Pearce,
Second.
Councillor Nicholas, any commentary?
Just briefly, just went for a drive up there through past the park, and it's interesting to see in quiet times. Interesting to see in quiet times how many people are actually up there, and it's all looking good, and well done.
Councillor Nicholas?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that there was significant and effective community engagement to get where we are, and there's some more to come. And one of the things that I understand Alvin Shah will be looking at is movement of traffic in the area, particularly around the Pony Club facility. But I also concur with the councillor colleague that the area has been very well used in this time, and the Oaks Lawn looks fantastic.
Any further commentary? You don't have to wish it now, just talk.
No, just to Will and Heathgang, that put the grass down at Oak Lawns down there and extended it at the end date. It's amazing. I think it was worth it in the end, Will, to get up the back of the trees there and include them in. And it looks well, and it weathered pretty good through the crowd and all. So well done, Willie.
I take it from that there's no further commentary, or is there? Councillor Janus?
Comment, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Jeremy, have we got in our pipeline a project of a similar nature for the use of Myrtleford for a bike track? There was a letter sent last year.
Thank you, Councillor Janus. We do have a project in our pipeline called the Myrtleford Bike Track. Implementation timeframe proposed is beyond 2033.
Thank you. I think young people will be rather old by then. Something we might have to look at in their pipeline going forward. Thank you.
To the vote, all those in favour? Carried. 8.3, Director of Corporate, Ms. Natalie Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The procurement policy is a key instrument that outlines the principles and standards for the purchase of all goods, services and works by council. Within the Local Government Act, we are required to review this policy at least once per financial year. The purpose of this report is to propose amendments to the procurement policy and to seek council's adoption of the revised policy. The two amendments are proposed to strengthen council's procurement practices, these being all purchases between $10,000 and $75,000 are to require a request for quotation to be published on the council's tender website, and all supplier evaluations are to be approved by at least the officer and their direct supervisor.
Move for a second, please. Councillor Forsyth, councillor Janice, councillor Forsyth.
I think it's just tidying up what should be good business practice.
Councillor Janice.
No, no, I agree.
Any further? Let's move to the motion. All those in favour? Carried. 8.3.2 investment policy.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Council's investment policy governs the investment of surplus council funds with the objective of maximising our returns while respecting council's risk appetite and liquidity requirements. The investment policy was last reviewed in 2016. The purpose of this report is to propose amendments to the investment policy and seek council's adoption of the revised policy. It should be noted that the investment policy has been reviewed by the Finance Committee and the Audit Committee.
So moved.
Second.
Councillor Forsyth, councillor Nicholas, councillor Forsyth.
Simple question on this one is that Curve Securities, are they called Curve Securities? Are they the only people out there that will publish a list of current ADIs and or where their suggestion might be? Do they make suggestions or do they just publish a list?
I'll have to take that on next council.
Okay, thank you. That's, what I'm getting at here is if we limit ourselves to this investment policy and we limit ourselves to only one source of where those investments can be, I'm wondering if there are other investments out there which have got the same security, not covered by Curve. That's what I'm going.
I don't know that the policy as drafted limits us to only using the recommendations of Web Securities. It's simply a firm that we had been contracted to undertake some market analysis. So the investment policy itself, it limits our risk and limits where we could choose to invest, but it doesn't determine which brokerage firm to not choose.
No, it's just that in the commentary, Curve is mentioned. That's it. Thank you.
Any further questions, councillor Nicholas?
Not a question, sorry, but a comment. It follows on a little bit from what Councillor Forsyth has said. Curve Securities offers a fossil fuel-free accreditation against some investments, and I'm glad to see that in this policy, if the investments are equal, then we lean towards the fossil fuel-free, which is great. It's happening across the world, and it's great to see Upland Shire doing something. Well done, everybody.
Any further commentary? To the vote, all those in favour? Carried. 8.3.3 quarterly report.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This report provides the third quarterly report for 2020 against the Alpine Shire Council Plan 2017 to 2021. It should be noted that this quarterly report ends 31st of March 2020. There are a number of highlights in this report. For example, Council advocated strongly on behalf of the community during this period for the January 2020 bushfires. Council's business systems transformation program was implemented, and that program has begun across all three partner councils, being Alpine, Indigo and Tower Shire councils. There are a number of key capital works programs completed during quarter three, these being Standish Street road reconstruction, the e-waste infrastructure sheds at the three transfer stations, as well as completion of landscaping and footpath works around Phoenix Street and Milford. There was also a program, dinner plane street signage renewal.
Councillor Janice.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Keeble. Councillor Janice.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, it's been a very difficult start to 2020, and I think we've had some remarkable outcomes in lieu of that difficult times that we've had, and then it will be continued for this quarter as well. So I think we've done pretty well in the circumstances to get these positive results, and I think that's as a result of the dedication of our staff in dealing with these issues and dealing with the public and our people who provide our services to us as well. So we've got that positivity, and we want to keep that positivity going once this COVID crisis is over.
Councillor Keeble.
Yeah, I agree with Councillor Janice. I think the fact that we've been able to keep on some of the projects going over the last couple of months, fires and COVID, it's taken my hat off to the council workers and the people around the table here who have kept things going along, and to all our ratepayers out there. I know it's been a tough start to the year, but everyone is working as hard as they can. We keep it going.
Councillor Nicholas?
I'd just like to point out, raise one more thing that from the being achieved over this last quarter, which is development or release of the waste-wise events guidelines. And note that that's been shared across all the councils who are part of the Golden Broken Greenhouse Alliance. We're one of the first to have done it.
Want to reply?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All those in favour? Carried. 8.3.4, contract groundwater monitoring wells and surface water field sampling.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I apologise, my microphone is cutting in and out quite a lot. I think I've got to- The purpose of this report is to recommend the award of a contract for the groundwater monitoring wells and surface water field sampling and water testing at 4 of our landfill sites. These being the Middleford landfill, the old Middleford landfill, the Port Bunker landfill, and what was the old Harriet landfill. A tender process was undertaken, and as a result of the tender, a contract has been prepared for this service for a period commencing 8th of June for a period of 3 years, with the option to extend for a further 1 year. 11 tenders were received, and evaluation was undertaken in accordance with key selection criteria. The minimum required frequency of monitoring has been used to assess the estimated annual cost of service.
So moved.
Second.
Councillor Forsyth and Councillor Keeble. Councillor Forsyth.
Just point out one thing, and that is that the estimated contract value in dot point 1 is 120,000, which is actually under the CEO's right of. However, because of the period of a further 1 year for this contract, even though it is an option, that would bring it over to 150. Am I correct in that thinking? Is that why it's come to council?
Not exactly. So the total estimated contract value, including the options, is $120,000, which you're right, is under the CEO's delegation.
Yes.
However, this is not a fixed price contract. This is an estimated contract value based on the services that will be provided over that time frame. And those calculations have been made based on the minimum requirement in monitoring. So should we get a result at one of the monitoring stations that requires further investigation and additional monitoring, they will come with additional cost. So it is reasonable to assume that there is a high potential that over the 4 years of the contract, including the option, that we may incur additional costs, and we didn't wish to accidentally take the contract value over the CEO's delegation in the time frame. So to make sure that we've undertaken the correct process, we're bringing it to council.
In that case, should council then be actually allocating a higher amount of dollars into a budget, because we're only really saying 120, even though it is estimated? I've read the word there. Should we actually say number 3, this could be higher?
I don't believe that's necessary. So the contract itself, which will be brought to a third council meeting, signed and sealed, will contain the actual conditions of that contract. It won't have a total contract value in it because it's a service contract. And as this is broken up over a number of years, the budgets will be allocated for per year in the normal budgetary process.
Thank you.
Councillor Keeble.
Yeah, there was a question there by Councillor Forsyth. I was looking at the price there myself, doing the figures, so the figures at home for people that are watching this per site per year. However, not doing this work down the track, it costs a lot more. Yes, EPA regulations, knowing what the
So there's a couple of parts to it. It's the proactive understanding what we're monitoring, but it's also our regulation compliance requirements of the EPA.
not doing this could cost us a lot more.
Absolutely.
Compliance.
Yes.
Councillor Nicholas.
I just wanted to ask whether Alpine Earth Sciences is from the Alpine Shire.
Yes, it is. It's a local company.
That's fantastic.
Any further questions? All those in favour? Carried. 8.3.5, commercial rent relief under Victorian State Government Commercial Policy.
So the purpose of this report is to recommend that council approves rent relief for council lessees under the terms of the Victorian State Government Tenancy Relief Scheme. Council has a number of leases to commercial tenants for council owned or managed property. Rents for those tenants.
Second.
Councillor Pearce, Councillor Nicholas, Councillor Pearce.
Yeah, we'll briefly just about releasing the leases to allow longer leases in and pretty straightforward.
Councillor Nicholas.
This is the sort of thing that we can do to support businesses recover and continue after both bushfire, but particularly with COVID, and something we need to do.
Any Ms. Cook?
May I ask to clarify, councillor Pearce?
Yep.
So the purpose of this is to put in place potential rent waivers, so that lease will remain for these tenants, they still have their ongoing lease. However, we would apply the principles of the management scheme, and we would consider impact to those businesses and waive rental payments to assist them under the terms of the scheme.
Any further, Councillor Janus?
Thank you, Chair. The funding of this book is this as a result of monies received by state or federal government?
So there was some short, in the funding received for the bushfire recovery rate relief process, there was some underspend of some of those fundings, and we are able to attribute some of that to this.
Well, that's an excellent result for those businesses and a proper way to spend that money to assist their businesses that are tenants of ours of the Shire, and that assists them some way to maintain their business and employment.
Any further commentary? To the vote, all those in favour? Carried. 8.3.6, issuing of new leases to Victorian State Emergency Services Authority in Brighton.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. The purpose of this report is to recommend the surrender of existing leases and execution of new leases between Upper Shire Council and the Victorian State Emergency Services for land located at 16 Churchill Avenue, Bright, and 16 Jubilee Street, Myrtleford.
So moved.
Councillor Nicholas and Councillor Epstein. Councillor Nicholas.
I wouldn't like to live anywhere where there wasn't an SES.
Yeah. Councillor Epstein. Any further commentary? No? To the vote? All those in favour? Carried. 8.3.7, planning application 5.2019.46.1714, Happy Valley Road, Rose,
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This proposal is for a 2-lot subdivision boundary realignment. For more detail, the proposal is to realign the boundaries of 2 existing titles to consolidate existing rural activities and potentially provide a future long-term opportunity for a dwelling or agricultural buildings on a proposed 40-hectare lot. Proposed lot 1 has an area of 10 hectares with substantial frontage to Happy Valley Road. This lot would contain the majority of existing buildings and work on the site, including an existing dwelling, farm stay accommodation building, olive plantation with approximately 160 trees, a hazelnut plantation with approximately 50 trees inoculated with truffles, beehives and stock horse grazing. The proposed lot 2 has an area of 40 hectares with substantial frontage to Happy Valley Road. The lot is proposed to contain beef and cattle production, existing native vegetation, the production of 60 tonne of hay or silage, and the potential for a new dwelling and or agriculture building. The application has been assessed against all applicable policy and decision guidelines. This assessment can be found in Appendix 8.3.7. Of note, however, it must be pointed out that the site is zoned for farming. The proposal has been deemed to be inconsistent with the purpose and decision guidelines of the farming zone for the following reasons. It has not been suitably demonstrated that the cattle and hay enterprises of the 40-hectare lot are environmentally sustainable. The proposal does not support and enhance agricultural production on either title. The farm plan failed to establish a rationale justifying how the proposed boundary realignment is required to to support or enhance the agricultural or rural activities on either site. In conclusion, the application has been deemed to be non-consistent with the Alpine Planning Scheme and should be refused for the following summarised reasons. The proposal does not comply with the relevant state and local planning policy framework. The proposal is inconsistent with the purpose and decision guidelines of the farming zone, and the land is deemed to be not suitable for subdivision.
So moved.
Councillor Keeble. Councillor Epstein. Before we go any further, I think I will say that we have the planning coordinator, Mr. Sam Porter, in the room. So if councillors have got questions of the planning coordinator, Mr. Porter is in the room. Councillor Keeble.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. It's a planning, decisions like this are never easy, especially when we're looking at not large lots, 3 acres. But for me personally, it's not about what will work in the next 10 or 20 years. It's really that land that's there is really in the farming zone, and down the track, who knows what it will be used for in 50 years, 100 years, and it's there for farming, not for subdivision at the moment. And that's all I was saying.
Councillor Epstein.
No, struggle with it too, but
No, you just have to look it up and speak.
I struggled with it as well, but I listened to the recommendations and it's a tear.
Any further commentary on this topic? Councillor Forsyth.
Yes, public notification in the referral notices, section 55 referrals, big roads, no objection, country fire authority, no objection, Golden Murray water, no objection, subject to conditions, internal and external referrals, council's environment and health department, no objection, subject to conditions, no objection. We're getting no objections to this actual proposal, and yet we're doing a refusal on the actual proposed realignment of boundaries. I have a query, and it's on page 34. I'm just wondering whether or not it's the terminology that must actually be used, and that is under the local planning policy framework, under clause 21.053.3, protect strategically significant agricultural land. Is that the simple terminology that has to be used? Because I can't see what is strategically significant about this particular block.
Planning coordinator, Mr. Sam Porter, has been called.
Thank you, Councillor Forsyth. I can confirm that the Alpine Chart put some land capability mapping 2014-15 with regards to the rural land use strategy, and we have that mapping which talks to high, medium and low quality agricultural land. So the land that is mapped as high quality agricultural land, and the lower 3/4 of this property certainly is seen strategic to that mapping.
Thank you. Due to that mapping that we did some time ago. Yeah.
Mr. Porter, could you hold the microphone a bit closer to your mouth, please? I know it's COVID-19 concerns.
We're going to do that again. Sorry.
I think maybe we're under restricted effort here with the system we're operating on. So yes, if you could do that again, that'd be great.
Council, when it did its rural land use strategy, in the research was done between 2010 and 2015. One component of that was some land capability mapping. So we do have referred to maps referenced in the planning scheme, which looks at the quality of agricultural land. It grades it into high, medium and low, and the majority of this property is in the high quality agricultural category. Therefore, it seems strategically more.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor, can I ask Mr. Porter, seeing he is with the microphone, regarding possibly section 173 on this block of land? If the proponents had had agreed to or put in a 174, sorry, if a 173 agreement had been gone into for lot 2, would the recommendation have come back with a possible non-refusal or an approval, I should say?
There was certainly some early communication that took place from myself and
You can't hear Sam.
Fine.
Yes, no, you're right, I might be pushing, apologies. There was certainly some early communication that took place between myself and the applicant, as a way of potentially facilitating the application. The farm plan that was submitted was viewed as being light on for the, you said lot 2, which is the 40 hectare lot. So there was some discussion via letter, email, regarding whether more information could be put back to council around that, and the 173 was also floated as a way of potentially deferring that information to a later point. Sometimes in these circumstances, I suppose the future agricultural intent of the residual land as it is in this instance perhaps isn't known. The intent is probably more identified and certainly in this instance intensified on the smaller piece of land. So to answer your question, had we drilled down to what that 173 would look like and a greater acceptance of it, I think it's a strong likelihood the decision would have changed.
So can I ask the further question to that, which is there any possibility, do you believe, if this recommendation or this planning application is deferred for another month? I know they've been waiting a long time now. If it was deferred for another month, do you think that there would be any possibility that Section 173 may be put into place on this particular proposal?
So the response that came back to the 173 certainly accepted that there was merit in a 173. The acceptance wasn't to the extent we were hoping for it to be. So that's the important detail there to understand that it goes to that extent.
You've answered the question. Thank you.
That raises a question for me, sorry. So the applicant wasn't happy with the 173 agreement. Is that what the acceptance you're referring to is? Or?
No, the response. Sorry, the response definitely acknowledged the need for a 173 agreement. And that was along the lines of the farm plan as detailed in the submission that was there, to be tied to the existing house accommodation in small lot and to the bigger lot, but the offering that was tabled was that the farm plan for the bigger lot was needing to be essentially enhanced or agricultural put forward, and that be done at a later date and be demonstrated council satisfaction before they chose to build the dwelling at a later date.
Councillor Nicholas?
So, Mr Porter, in a nutshell, the recommendation to not proceed is because the 40 hectares would give as a bright house without a 173 of some sort. But if the proposal was for a 39 hectare subdivision and the remainder staying in the small lot, it wouldn't be so hard to do, and then there'd need to be some application and further work to get a house on that size. So,
yes, we certainly get an opportunity to look at applications. So it does change the thinking a little bit, but the context which I've just gone through is certainly one way of looking at facilitating it. Underlying all that, we're still not losing sight of the fact that we needed to be looking at the agricultural land use, existing patterns, and ensuring that the farm plan had enough detail there. There was enough happening to support and demonstrate that it was a site responsive re-subdivision as it is farmland. We certainly had, applicants, council went back and forth a number of times and looked at that. A lot of it certainly based on personal circumstances and what their likely future intent was going to be. But we never had the following a review of such information, breakup that they've proposed at the moment is sufficient.
Any further commentary? Councillor Jacobs.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So in relation to the plan, there is a house lot on proposed for lot 2, correct?
No, that's the building.
I'm sorry, a building envelope for the lot 2. So I've seen that in the notes. With the section 173 in relation to lot 2, has been discussed with the proponent that if that building lot is taken off, that would make any difference to this application? If that was taken away, that building envelope was taken away on lot 2, would that make a difference to the application?
That plan really represents, I suppose, a best guess of what the future building layout. I think it's probably the building reference, but it's suggesting more place for a dwelling. Important to understand the application is only for boundary realignment subdivisions. The discussion moving forward into dwelling is to do with the creation of these 2 new parcels, or realigned 2 parcels. We created as a variety entitlement on that larger lot. So there is always some forward thinking and some context of what that might look like, and what we're seeing to envelope there, and the applicant certainly has been very transparent and open with the and succession intent, and therefore detailed like potential building site that's been so represents question, bit better, apologies. Taking it away is not a deal at the moment. It's not forming a part of the application, it's forming a part of the decision because it's a boundary line that creates that really important 40 hectare or greater vacant piece of land. With that being potentially approved, there is an ability at a later date to see a house built there without any planning approval, just building approval. So the realignment of the boundaries creates an increase in the number of dwellings.
And there are currently 2 dwellings on that lot as it exists now. It's on the
One dwelling, one host farm, yes. So if they were to need to place a second dwelling on that lot and not worry about subdivision, we would be needing to receive planning application for that. They're choosing their existing 2 parcels of land to look at a realignment. And as a result of that realignment and the creation of 40 hectare greater lot, there is an ability to then build a new house on the vacant parcel lot as well, size.
And do you know what the dam capacities are?
Might be that off the top of my head.
I'm sorry, that might be a question short notice, but I'm thinking of the farm plan. And is it my understanding that it's not an irrigated property, except maybe for the small section around the existing house?
To the best of our recollection, I can't remember a commercial license.
Is that in the farm plan, you recall it's an irrigated property?
Doesn't spring to mind that it was in there.
I'm sorry to be difficult, but important for my thinking.
You right, Mr. James?
Yes, my mind is just thinking.
That's fine. I'm just wondering where.
This is important, and I know that it's very important to the proponents, this application, and but I'm also mindful of the fact of our future generations, where we've gone ahead and subdivided areas off that that would restrict a good use of high quality primary agricultural land and create almost strip development in some of our valleys and areas. So, but as part of my, my thinking here, and something I would certainly would like to see happen. With the land, we are a food bowl area, a recognised food bowl area by government, and we have good water and environmental areas, and we are sought after to for those areas to be utilised in agriculture and food production. My understanding also is that the farm, as it is at the moment, is not necessarily providing sufficient income on its own, and other sources of income required. So to cut it up even smaller could maybe exacerbate that unless there was some extreme expensive farming into a small plot. The production of hay, 50 was $50 a bale, both produce. Good times we might sell it at 100. So you're not going to make a living out of that off hay yourself. And some other things. I have no further comment. Thank you.
Right on fine. Councillor Keeble?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. It's been 18 months, this one, in a while to get things through. Obviously, we've gone through in the last couple of months. But hopefully all the details have been presented. For 173 is an interesting conversation with Councillor Forsyth. In regards to that, the only issue with 173 is different councils down the track could override it down the track. So, but it is a good point to raise. No.
Thank you for input, Mr. Porter. Sorry we've taken so long to get to this. Working with Council Pearce for fixing the live stream session. Off the vote, all those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 9. Okay. Item 9, Assembly of Councillors. Moved. Councillor Keeble, Councillor Pearce. All those in favour? Carried. General business from my right, Councillor Keeble.
Not at the moment.
Reserving your right, Councillor Keeble. Councillor Pearce, you're reserving your right. Councillor Jennings.
Thank you.
Councillor Forsyth. Councillor Epstein. Councillor Nicholas.
I'm fine. I have. I just want to say to everyone out there, I know that restrictions are coming off. We're coming into some school holidays in 4 weeks' time. And I know that there are nervous, anxious community people out there. We just need to make sure we all look after each other and see to respectfully point them out. People will come to our area, they want to come over and visit, they want to spend some money and spend some time. We just need to make sure we're respectful of all that.
Councillor Pearce? I concur with Councillor Keeble. Social distancing is important. Ensuring that you're well at visiting and be kind. We are operating in a changed environment and it is difficult to actually look what that looks like, but we need to be kind. This is the most important thing. Motion for which notice of credit has been given, none. Reception of reading petition, we have none. 13 documents for sealing. Councillor Nicholas, Councillor Pearce, all those in favour? Carried. Thank you for your presence this evening and those watching on the stream. I'm sorry we were late, but we'll get there eventually. The time is now 5:48 PM and I hereby close the meeting. Good night. Thank you.